Ready?
Ready?
Okay. Hey athletes, we're excited to bring you this 5-part series on how to bullet journal for performance. Over the years working with athletes of all levels, we have noticed something. The mental and physical progress often gets lost if we don't track it.
Exactly. And a lot of the time we're putting in a lot of hours in our training, in the gym, on the field, on the court, or whatever your performance area is. But how often is it that we actually sit down, take note, track progress, and really be purposeful with seeing that growth? And that's exactly what this series is going to help you do.
These bullet journaling prompts are designed for you, but they're completely customizable. You can use them however you want, whenever you want, whether it's a single game, a training week, or an entire season. It's flexible to fit your life.
And it's not about following a rigid system. It's about creating your own resource, a place to capture your daily focus, reflect on what went well for you, track your improvements, and plan your next steps to progress.
Over the next 5 videos, we're going to take you through 5 key ways you can use your bullet journal, all the way from daily reflections, goal setting, managing doubts, and more.
And our goal for you is that by the end of this series, you will have the tools that you need to reflect your way to a better performance on and off the field.
Let's do it.
We've noticed that a lot of people tend to reflect on their performances in 2 extremes. Some often say that was good or that was bad. Others can't stop analyzing every single thing. So one is very minimal and the other is quite over analytic.
The idea with the bullet journal is to bridge that gap because it gives you a structure, but it's flexible enough to make it your own, and it will help you to reflect with curiosity instead of criticism. Each page of the journal starts with your daily focus, one mental or physical cue you want to keep front of mind.
It could be technical, like stay low through contact, or it could be mental, like breathe in between points. Just one thing that centers you. Having a daily focus for training and competition allows you to lock in on specific skills that you want to improve.
After training or competition, we move on to reflection, and we will start by rating our day. Not to judge yourself, but to check in. Where are you today? So we might ask ourselves on a scale of 1 to 5, how did I feel physically with my motivation? Was I focused? Did I have confidence? How was my energy levels? And where were my emotions?
After we've done this overall review, we then want to make it more specific. So we're going to start by finding 3 things that went well in this training session or this performance. And there's a really specific reason that we'll start with this question, because as humans, we all have a negativity bias, which basically means that we tend to focus and remember the things that didn't go so well or the things that were negative about the situation. And I'm sure you can all relate to this. We might have had a competition with plenty of positive actions or notes, but we only remember and get hung up on that one mistake that we made in the game. That's why we want to actively look for the things that went well. We have to program the brain to focus on the positives. And even on a really difficult day, after what we might see as a fairly poor performance, there are always at least 3 things that went well, but we might just have to look for them. And this could be anything. It doesn't have to be a big play, an amazing shot, or that point that you won. It could be things like preparing really well, warming up really well, staying focused despite feeling super frustrated. So there's always things, however big or small we might perceive them, that we have actually done well, and they are worth noting over time.
Next, we're going to move on to the question, what's worth improving? And it's important to notice here that we are not saying what was bad. No. And the wording here is essential because phrasing it this way shifts our mindset from judgment to growth, right? We are programming our brain to look for the opportunities to improve.
Finally, we want to finish by taking action. And we're going to ask ourselves, what's one action I can take to improve on this? So we're looking at that previous question, the things that we have picked out. Hopefully it's 1 to 3, no more than that, and we are assigning 1 to 3 actions that we can take between now and our next performance to improve. And sometimes these aren't necessarily things we have to do. Sometimes it might be focusing on something a bit more. It might be taking that breath in between points. So it's not something that needs to be super time consuming, that you need to do more time on the field or in the gym. These can be things that can feel small, but they can make a big difference.
I think one of the most important things with this point is to make it actionable.
Absolutely.
Right? Such as taking a breath between points. Very purposeful.
Yeah, and it should be something that after your next performance, you can say, I did that, or maybe I did not do that.
The bullet journal isn't about being perfect, it's about being intentional.
And when we make reflection a habit, we stop simply seeing the wins and losses. We start to see each performance as information and data that we can use to improve.
And here's the really powerful part. Over time, this journal becomes more than just notes. It becomes a source of confidence, something that you can look back on to see all the challenges you have overcome. You can look at the things that you have done well, or the things that you've been working on to improve, both mentally and physically.
Essentially, it is proof of the growth that you are making, perhaps the resilience that you are building, and all the reasons that you know that you can go in and perform.
With that said, we challenge you to start your own performance journal, tracking all of this, because at the end of the day, your mind will either help you or it will hinder you. Which will it be? We're done.